Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 10 Modded Minecraft, where today I'm in the mining dimension. This place that has nothing but, a lot of dirt and a lot of ores. Yeah, we're gonna get started on our fission reactor in this area, so we're, like I said before, about 5,000 blocks away from our other stuff. And I got my temp pad here, or well, not temp pad, warp plate. Either way, I have cooked up the stuff needed for our fission reactor. It's a lot of fuel assemblies. Honestly, it's more fission assemblies than it is even casings. Like, yeah, that's what most of it is. Assembly. We need these. And then we need the reactor glass as well. So actually, put away some of those. Bring out all of... I can't even bring out all of those. Fun. But just like with the boiler, how it was an 18 by 18, this is also going to be an 18 by 18. And apparently I'm ticking off quests left, right, and center up there. But, yes. So we're going to go over here. We're going to go 2 chunks up first. And then all chunks are 16 by 16. So if we just go 1 out on either side of this chunk, that will be our 18 by 18. So it should be 16. Actually, we need to go out this way too. Boop. So yeah, this way, and then we go out this way. So it should look something like this. And that. Yeah. So this is about how big it's gonna be. But similarly to the other reactor, we can do this. Okay, I forgot I have it in flat mode. Build to me. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Huh. So, yeah. I thought that wasn't going to be enough casings. I think I know why it wasn't enough. So, if you actually use, like, this, building a fission reactor, you can actually set your width, your length, your height, use reactor glass, all of this stuff, and it gives you an amount. So, like, if we go up here, it says use 200 fission reactors. But I think it's counting the floor as a reactor glass as well, and not just the sides. So, yeah, there's a lot less. I don't want it to be fully glass all the way around on all 6 sides. I just want the 4 sides, the top and the bottom, I want still be casings. So it looks like I gotta make some more. But in the meantime, I should be able to do... Yes. So this one actually does allow us to use the structural glass. Boink. Or reactor glass, not structural glass. With the builder. But we want 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then we just do the same thing where we just go around and build it all up. Alrighty, so our glass is placed in all around and it's looking very, very strange. But while I wait for some of the other stuff to cook back up, oh, it's actually almost done. Well then. Let's actually finish off our casings, shall we? Because, okay, there we go. Got it. This is gonna come all the way up here. And then we actually need to go up 1 more block. Boop. And it's gonna come over. It's gonna come... Gonna come up. Up. Over. over, up, over, and then actually let's do the bottom first. I I calculated it. I calculated it and everything because I had 200 of these blocks before. It wasn't enough, obviously. So I did 18 by 18. That should be the whole roof. Got that number and then subtracted that from or subtracted the 200 from that number, and then I should have had enough. But apparently it wasn't enough. Good lordy. I'm just gonna create 200. Just screw it. Give me 200. All right, now, please be enough to finish. Thank you. So this is the basic shape of our reactor, but we still need to put in our control rod assemblies and our fission fuel assemblies. Put all these away. We also have some ports and some redstone logic that we have to put in. Now, starting with the ports, we're going to be inputting fuel here. I don't know if that didn't finish the reactor. And then this is going to output, it's going to output waste. It's also going to output, making sure I'm at the center. I am at the center. It's also going to output the superheated coolant. Where is my configurator? There you are. Yeah, but we just output waste. Nope, output coolant. That's what we want. And then this one is going to be output waste. So we're putting in fuel there, taking the waste out here, and this is where we will be taking out the superheated sodium. And then on this side, F3G again. Yep. This is where we'll actually be putting in the sodium from the other side. And I don't think this one has to be a special. Yeah, this one doesn't have to be a special. It just has to be an input like that one. So input on the left, output on the right. But that's not all we're going to be doing. So right here in the center-ish, we want to set up a couple different things. We want these logic adapters for a special reason. Now, okay, can't actually access them yet. God dang it. No fuel assembly structures present. Okay, that's why. So with these logic adapters, they tell whether or not this has been damaged, if we have enough fuel, if we have enough coolant, or if we have too much waste. So if we've got, say we have not enough coolant inside here, we'll say, oh, turn us off. And then if we don't have enough fuel, oh, turn it off. If we have too much waste, turn us off. If we have too much superheated coolant, turn it off. Because on just the basic setup, if we don't do that, this whole thing will explode. So having these logic adapters is actually going to save us from irradiating the mining dimension. That's why it's in the mining dimension, because I didn't want to irradiate my base. But let's get back to building it and get these fuel rod assemblies inside here. Okay, got all of it in my inventory now. And with the control rod assemblies, if I'm not mistaken, these, of course, are going to go up here on the ceiling. But I believe they also go in a checkerboard pattern, where it's every other block. So we're just going to sit here, go along the roof, and just basically do this from this side all the way over. And last one. There we go. So now all of those are in the checkerboard pattern like I thought. And now we can actually use the builder's gadget and just kind of place that one there for now. Then we can copy it and we can just go along and do this with the builder's gadget. So it makes it a lot easier than placing in, 17 of these things by hand. And I just got to do that over and over and over again. But it won't be too bad. Oh, they're building it to my feet, not to my head. I should have been on the other side. Let me knock this out the way real quick. There we go. Got all the fuel rod assemblies in. I had to use my personal shrinking device to get small enough to actually get the last ones in. But they're in. So now, all we got to do is put this reactor glass in, and it should complete. It did. Red particles. Yay! So now if we look, we get our coolant tank, our fuel tank, heated coolant tank, and our waste tank. That means these should also technically be working. So yeah, here it goes. Here's the ones we want to watch. If our temperature in here gets too high, it's going to output a signal. If we get critical waste levels, it'll output a signal. If there's damage critical, it'll send out a redstone signal. Why was I forgetting that? And then if there's insufficient fuel, it'll output a signal. And then this will not handle activate the reactor when powered and deactivate when unpowered. Will not handle redstone. Yeah, so this is the one we want. So we're actually going to have to invert the signal off of these. So whenever this outputs a signal, we need a signal to turn off here. Because if we could actually technically turn this on right now. I think it will explode because there's no coolant and no fuel. It'll just boom, just blow up and not irradiate the world. But I just got to build it together, so I'm not going to blow it up just to test. But we do want to start hooking things up. So the way we're actually going to handle these hookups is actually pretty simple. We are going to use another item from Mechanism, and that is called the Entangler. Where are you? Is it not Entangle Block? No, the Entangle Block, something else. Let me find it real quick. I wasn't far off. It was the Quantum Entangleporter, so Entangle is in there. But as you can see, this guy actually transfers everything in that list. So yeah, this works like an ender chest, but not just for items, for gas, for energy, for liquids, chemicals, everything. So it's a really useful block, and it's actually not that hard to build once you have everything. The only thing you need is a teleportation core, and again, not that hard to make. So we are actually going to, I need to make apparently more atomic alloys. Let's just make a stack of them for now. So let's go ahead and make, oh, dang it. I've got 2 for now. That'll work. Because what we can do is we can set this guy up here. This will be our fuel input. So we want to set a channel. This is going to be fission fuel. Boop. So there we go. And now we can configure this for all the different things. So for right now, we are just going to shift click this to clear all the different sides. And we want fluids to eject out the top of this and into these 4. I believe it's fluids, or is it? Technically, I think it's a chemical, but yeah, we would just do the same thing. Chemicals, output on the top, and then auto eject on, and then we'll do that up here as well. So it'll all go up into here and then start filling up this guy. Now, I'm on a single player world, so I don't have to worry about, other people hooking into my system. But if you do, you can lock trusted mode or make private. So the unlocked means anybody can access it. Trusted mode means only people in your team, I believe, can access it. and then private mode means only you can access it. But again, I'm so alone here in this world. So yeah, I don't need to worry about that. But now if we go back home, now that we're back over here, boiler's looking fine. I believe, yep, because that purple beam, that means this is a chemical. So we can hook this guy up to this. Let's clear all the sides just so nothing actually happens. We want to set this to fission fuel, and then we want to input the chemical. So this now technically should start going into there. I may actually need to pipe this in. So actually I want to bring this down and change my side config to none, and then input on the top. Get a ultimate power, fluids, chemicals. Get a tube. Place you down there, and then wrench. Boop, boop, pulls, and it should go into there. So as you can see, this holds the same amount as like a basic, or not a basic, an ultimate tank. So there's still quite a lot in here, but it does have a buffer. Now this holds 1,000 buckets, or 1,000,000 millibuckets. So there is a small buffer between this and what we will see over in the other world. Speaking of the other world, we're back over here. And you could, because this does have the auto eject feature, we could simply just slap this guy onto here. But because we do want some kind of buffer, we actually are just going to do this. And this actually will bring more into here. And it looks like, yep, it's already filled up. There are 15,000 buckets of fuel in here. So now we are reaching dangerous territory. Now if this gets, not broken right now, but if it gets started right now, we're in danger. So we need coolant to also get transferred over. So let's get started on that system. Now it's time to actually start pumping in our sodium. So in our dynamic tank here, we've got about 2 billion millibuckets. That'd be about 2 million buckets of sodium, which I don't think is enough to fill. Actually, it might be enough to fill the fission reactor. But over here, it's loud. It is loud. We're just going to muffle that sound for now. But we are going to create a new channel. And this is going to be sodium in. Because we're bringing sodium in to the system. And we'll have a sodium out, which will then go into this system. So we take this, have it ready to go, and actually, hang on. Is it ready to go? It is ready to go. So it's another chemical, it inputs, and then we boop, boop. Sodium is now going in. And like you can see, it does have a buffer the same as the ultimate tank, which didn't put a dent in that amount at all. But now let's see if the fission reactor actually puts a dent in it. So on the left side still, we are going to plop this bad boy down, set it to sodium in, and we are going to doot. And it's technically not set to auto eject, so we'll just put that. And then we want chemicals and output. So is it filling up? It is filling up. Slowly, but surely it is filling up. Oh, and it's speeding up. Oh, wow, it's really speeding up. But this doesn't say how much it's gonna hold. Actually, it might be the same. Oh no, it's not the same at all. The coolant tank is much larger than the fuel tank. Fuel tank is 15 million, and this is already at 150 million. So yeah, I'm gonna let that sit for a minute, let it fill up. That way we can also start hooking up these guys. Alrighty, so I've spent some time letting this fill up. So we've got coolant, sodium cooling it, and fuel is all filled. So we could turn this on and it would start generating power, but then the coolant would go nowhere and the waste would go nowhere. So right here, I've already set up a channel for waste, and this is just going to be inputting from the top. I need some more tubes. Give me, just say 100 for now. It's just the easiest thing is just to click and then let it build up. All right, and then we just do this. I believe it's a chemical. I believe the nuclear waste is a chemical anyways. I'm going to assume it is. So it's gonna come out here, go into our quantum entangleporter, and then we are going to transfer it somewhere else. Still in this dimension though, but down here. So down here, at first I was just gonna go a couple feet underground, but then I was like, well no, probably be cooler if I had an elevator. Now there's nothing much in this room. I kind of will decorate it later on, but I got us an elevator that at the surface, we're here. But if we go down to waste processing, you can see I did a little bit of decoration. We are in the red zone. This means we're where the waste is. I found these buttons and these doors, and I kind of love them. They're from Auratech, which was recently added, so I may have spammed them a little down here, but tell me that's not cool. That is so cool. But that's not the main piece. The main piece is this room right here. So for right now, oh, I forgot to put that wall. Either way, this is where we're going to be dumping our nuclear waste until we actually begin processing it. So right now, what's going on is I have a quantum entangleporter right there, and it's going to be pulling the waste out, down, and into these actual waste barrels. Now, I believe they're actually called waste barrels. Radioactive waste barrels. And they decay at 0.2 millibuckets a tick. So, you know, that's 2 millibuckets every 10 ticks, and it's like 20 ticks per second. So it's like 4 millibuckets per second. So, yeah. I've got, I think it's 38 or 40 of these buckets in here. I'd have to recount, but yeah, I got them in here, so we should be, you know, putting enough in here that we've got enough storage for it. But this is just until we actually start processing it. We'll start processing it on this side. Now, if you look, nuclear waste can actually be processed into polonium or plutonium. But that's a whole process in of itself that we'll get into once we have the machines actually up there ready to handle all the other stuff. But that's all going to go on this wall right here. So I've got the quantum entangleporter ready for it. Now you might notice this little lever right here. This little lever actually turns on and off the quantum entangleporter. That way, oh hey, I don't want to send anything to the plutonium polonium processing. Well, let's just start dumping it. So you would just flip this on and it would start dumping. And then you turn it off when you do want to turn this on. I might try to figure out a way to have this like a toggle where you just flip one and the other turns off, or you flip that one and that one turns off. Either way. But yeah, this is where we'll be dumping our waste in the meantime until we get all that other processing. Airports. Raiders west of... Oh, I gotta go take care of my citizens, or at least watch over them. So I'll be right back. With our colony now successfully defended, we can move on to the superheated coolant. So we're just going to do this, place down another one and set a new channel for sodium out. And then same old story, connect it up. Gonna pull it out here. And there we go. So all these will pull the superheated superheated sodium out here into this entangler porter, and this is where the boiler comes in. So now we can set this bad boy down here and put that there, set this to sodium out, and then we want to chemicals output on the top. And now any sodium that gets superheated will then come from the mining dimension, go up into here, get turned into regular sodium, and then re-enter the system. Now we're just left with our next byproduct, steam. So we have another setup and another couple machines to make. So let me get the materials ready for that and see how much time we have left in this episode. Alrighty, so there's only about 4 minutes left in the episode, so it's not really a whole lot of time left to do what I wanted to do, which is, put together all 3 turbines. Yes, that's right, 3. We're going to have 3 turbines where the steam is going to be generating the power for us. So, instead of doing that, I've done a little bit of decorating. I created this wall. Doesn't it look nice? Yeah, that's not all. I concreted the ground around here. I set up where all our turbines are gonna go. And I've even hooked up some wireless redstone over here on the fission reactor. So, like I said, this is where they're all gonna go. They're gonna be 18 tall, and they're all 17 by 17. So, it's a little odd number, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. But over here, we have our redstone signals to actually turn on and off the system. Kind of. So these ones are the ones that'll turn off the system should they reach, critical levels of, I believe it was temperature, waste, fuel? No, damage, and then fuel. So yeah, if any of those conditions trigger, they'll send a signal to this channel, the yellow cake uranium and redstone, which you can see this is not that signal. This is yellow cake and our redstone torch. And that's because down here, which I've also decorated with a little bit of calcite and some mud, I think it actually paired up really good. Like, these 3 colors actually did really well. But those signals will come down here to this button, which is an emergency on-off switch. But it's a button. Well, that's because back here is where the actual switch is. So this is the input. Say any of those critical things happen. It'll send a signal to here. It'll read that signal and send the power over to this toggle latch, which ordinarily would be switched on. But because I don't want the system on yet, it's switched off. So with this on, it'll be like, oh no, we're having problems, turn off. So it'll turn off the signal that's going to this channel, then turning off the system. And I can manually come over here and press this button, and it will actually, turn on or off the system. So that's what that is. And that's going to be very helpful. I apparently forgot to put a piece of stone back over here. Ooh. Right there. Yeah. So, yep, I've just got a button to switch on and off the system whenever I need to. I do kind of want to set up another way, like some way to communicate to me that, hey, system's going bad, get over here. Haven't figured that out yet, but I will. But down here, we haven't done much, except in the elevator hall, we've actually blacked out the sides, so that way it just kind of looks, a little interesting. Yeah, I've used the Luminex blocks, which, other than the little particles you may or may not see, you know, they're completely. It looks like I'm standing in a void. Like I can't see the corner. So yeah, this just gives it a little bit more. Shut up, phone. A little bit more mystique, mystery. But other than that, I really haven't done anything else down here. We will in time, though. Oh, no. But that is going to be all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. Okay, hello. There we go. I hope you enjoyed. I know I did. And I hope to catch you all next time, where we put together the turbines and actually start the system. Bye, y'all.